I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Start 2024 off on a high note by loading up on meat and more at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's special through January 16th is a Nebraska ground beef case sales. 12 one-pound packages of premium Nebraska ground beef for just $46.99 per case and $1.50 off all McClure's brand products. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: snow and blowing snow likely today, especially in the morning. Otherwise, it'll be cold and windy, a high of just 8. Tonight, cold and wind continue, more blowing snow as well. See a low of 5 below. And tomorrow, more cold, wind, blowing snow, a high of just -1. Stay warm and safe out there. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
School taught you all about the 4 seasons, spring, summer, and so on. And then there's the way we really tell what time of year it is in sports seasons. Football season, baseball season, or off season. But what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now. And now, and now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolateseason.com.
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome into the Happy Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. I am Rico. You can't see me on the stream, but you can hear me on the radio. I am Rico, joined by Austin Orman.
What up?
Thank you all for tuning in today, for listening to us. I hope everyone is having a safe, warm day. I hope nobody is out and about getting stuck in the snow or having to deal with this crazy cold weather because it's not great, and I'm not a fan of this.
But we are here for you.
Here. We are here. We are here. We are here. That's from Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, you'll know when your kid is older.
Yeah. I'm fascinated to see what like peak young child culture is when he's old enough for culture.
Have you started watching Bluey yet?
No, he's 3 months old.
Yeah,
we are keeping the screen time to a minimum.
Yeah, but it's Bluey. It's for you guys.
We are keeping his screen time to a minimum.
I mean, it makes sense.
Like even if we're watching TV, he's looking at us.
I'll let you know right now. Bluey is great.
Bluey?
For anybody listening, for any parents at home that are listening, or anybody that has young kids, Bluey season 3 is out on Disney Plus. Just thought I'd let you know. Very important. Hopefully my wife is taking care of that. Shout out to Rachel at home with the kiddos right now, trying to get some work done. Like I said, this is the Happy Hour brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting. We appreciate everything that they do for us. Thank you for joining us. Sutter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch/X, Twitter/X, and Allo Channel 961 all across this wonderful state of Nebraska that is being pelted with cold weather. If you are in Lincoln or the surrounding area or just really anywhere where there's a lot of snow and wind, please be careful on your drives. If you don't have to go anywhere, don't. Just listen to us. That's all the entertainment you need for the day. Today on the Happy Hour, we are getting into another transfer portal edition for Nebraska football as they add a linebacker. And I was thinking about something on my drive into work about Fred Hoiberg's teams at Iowa State and this team this year. Not a direct comparison, but just some thoughts and comparing the teams at Iowa State and this specific Nebraska team and maybe possibly next year's Nebraska's team. We'll get to that in the second segment. But first, Austin, Nebraska football dipping into the transfer portal once again. Seems like they've gotten all of the targets that all of the athletes that they have targeted as they add Stephon Thompson, a linebacker transfer out of Syracuse, 6'1", almost 250 pounds, played for Tony White for 1 year, was with Tony White for 2 years. He got injured his second year. How big of an addition is the inside linebacker transfer out of Syracuse?
I'm a little hesitant to be so excited about a linebacker because I really thought MJ Sherman was going to bust on the scene. I really, really did. Even like a Corey Collier, a guy like that, I was super excited about.
Stop.
Hammer time?
Stop. Breaking news.
What we got?
Breaking news, everyone. And this is, I'm sorry, this is necessary. Might have to go grab somebody from out there. Washington coach Kalin DeBoer is negotiating a contract to replace Alabama's Nick Saban. Mark Schlabach and Chris Lowe report to ESPN. Like we said, Alabama wasn't going to wait very long. They've been working on it. It seemed as if they're now, okay, I want to be careful how I say this. I don't want to say that he was the 4th, 5th choice, but you had 3 coaches. 2 coaches release hype videos of how they're staying at their schools, Steve Sarkisian and Dan Lanning, and another coach get a raise, an extension, 8 years, $80 million from Mike Norvell, despite NCAA sanctions against the Seminoles. So you had 3 coaches saying they're staying, getting raises, and now you have Kalin DeBoer. Breaking news, he is negotiating a contract to be Alabama's next head coach. A great coach. He's won everywhere he's been. But is this the hire that Alabama fans will get excited for?
Man, I don't know. I mean, Washington had a better year than Bama did. More successful. Made it that last step to the championship game. Didn't win it, obviously. Fascinated to see how this goes. I don't know what the politics of Washington football are necessarily. I can about imagine how different they are from Alabama politics. It's different too, right? DeBoer strikes me as, I don't know, I feel like buttoned up Lane Kiffin is kind of unfair to him because he doesn't have the same story as Lane Kiffin, right? Lane was the chosen one.
Yes.
Right, the golden child.
That was the dude.
Whereas Kalin DeBoer has worked his way up, right? Goes to Sioux Falls,
college. Works his way up. He coaches in high school for a couple years, goes back to his alma mater as the offensive coordinator for 4 years, head coach for 4 years, to Southern Illinois FCS, to Eastern Michigan in the MAC. You've at least heard of them. They have a big win here or there, but it's still Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
To Fresno State, where he's with Tedford for a couple of years out, their offensive coordinator, QB's coach. Is there at Indiana with Michael Penix. Jumps from Indiana to Fresno State to replace Jeff Tedford on his medical leave of absence. Of course, Tedford then came back.
Yep.
And then up to Washington. Like, Kalin DeBoer has been at every level and has been wildly successful. I mean, 67-3, 3 NAIA national championships with a runner-up appearance in Sioux Falls. Okay.
This man is 104-12 as a head coach, 2-1 in bowl games, in tournaments, 1-1 college football playoff, 17-2 in the NAIA playoffs. Like you said, 3 NAIA national championships, won the GPAC 4 times, won the Pac-12 once. Here's some of the awards for Kalin DeBoer. 3-time AFCA NAIA Coach of the Year, 3-time NAIA Coach of the Year, 2-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year, AFCA Coach of the Year award, 2-time AP Pac-12 Coach of the Year, AP Coach of the Year this year, Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year this year, Home Depot Coach of the Year, Sporting News Coach of the Year, Walter Camp Coach of the Year, all this year.
It feels like 2 things. Number one, it feels like this should be a bigger splash than I think people will think it is, right? Just because of DeBoer's path. Winner, right? I feel like he is in the Kleiman Leipold. Lance Leipold might be the comp I would go to.
Yeah.
You know, kind of Midwestern, Great Lakes-ish area, successful, has a few stops, takes a place to success it hasn't seen either before or in a while. So I think Leipold's the comp. DeBoer's won at Leipold's won at a higher level. Like what he did at the D3 level, all those championships at Whitewater should speak for itself. So I think Kalin DeBoer should be viewed as a pretty splashy hire, but I think there are enough people who still are like, he's a 1-year wonder at Washington, 2-year wonder at Washington. Don't really know what he is and what he's about. So he almost feels more like an up-and-coming coordinator hire than the splash hire that I think he can be for Alabama.
He is 49 years old, but it feels like, as you were saying, it should be more of a splash, but the names that they were targeting have had more experience at the Division I level in the Power 5 than he has. When you look at, because Dan Lanning, this is his first head coaching job, I believe, at Oregon. So but he's a younger guy, more fiery, which is something that a lot of universities, I feel like that could have worked at Alabama. It's working really well at Oregon. But Steve Sarkisian's been a head coach multiple times, although it didn't work out very well. He was just at Alabama as an offensive coordinator, so they're familiar with him. Mike Norvell has had some success here and there. But you're right, Kalin DeBoer, it feels like there should be more excitement around this. Granted, it just happened, so we don't know what it's like in Alabama. But to me, it feels kind of like the 4th or 5th choice, because you have to imagine Lane Kiffin was the first choice. He didn't have to make a big deal. He just said no. And then you had Sarkisian. Then you had Lanning, Sarkisian, Mike Norvell, kind of in that order, announcing, a video he's staying, 8-year, $80 million extension at Florida State. And now you kind of fall. Again, we don't know the order of which these things happen, but it seems as if they kind of fell onto Kalin DeBoer. And after all of the success he had at Washington for these last 2 years and making the national championship this last year, especially with that, I feel like there's going to be, or should be, a lot of excitement coming out of Tuscaloosa.
You know that there's going to be some throwaway comment from Greg Byrne about how he was always our first choice. We're glad we got him. We looked at his whole resume. What he's done at Washington is great. And maybe that's true, right? I don't want to immediately discount that. But you see what happens with Lanning, right? You see what happens with Sarkisian and Norvell. The part of those conversations that we never get, that we will never get, that I think is the most illustrative or most telling, is just how deep and serious those conversations were.
Like, was it just a cursory, hey, to an agent, we're considering your guy. Would he be, interested? Do we want to start this conversation? Agent goes to the coach, says, you can make him an offer, but he's probably happy where he's at.
Yeah.
Right. Or was it a, hey, your guy's our first choice. What does it take to get him here? Those are two very different conversations. Like, was Bama seriously pursuing Lanning and Sarkisian in Norvell? Did they call anyone else?
Was Lanning actually in Tuscaloosa? Like the flight tracker said, was he actually down there?
Unconfirmed. He sent the picture from his house at one point on Twitter, but I don't know how that matches up with the timeline of the plane or how old that picture was.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't haven't Max Duggan into the source code to figure out how old that picture is.
Let's get our hackers on it.
Right. Seriously. If anyone on the text line can figure out when it was that Dan Lanning picture was taken, I will jump in the snowbank outside the window.
I have a different reason for jumping in the snowbank. But we'll get to that later. Where was I going with? Oh, somebody asked on the text line, and this is something that I wanted to get into also. What is the expectation at Bama? Is it a failure if he goes 10-2? Yes and no. Like, with the talent that he's going to have at Alabama, with the talent that, if he does this, how many players from Washington are going to follow him? How many players from Alabama are going to leave? How many players are going to stay? Like, those are all things that you're going to have to worry about. But with the talent that Alabama has and will continue to have, it's not like he's in a slouch in recruiting. It's not like Washington was like not a top 50 recruiting class. They'll be able to bring people in. It's still Tuscaloosa. Nick Saban's still going to be there. I think he still has an office in the football stadium, and he'll be able to watch them practice and watch them play, and he'll still be around. He's just not coaching anymore. So I think 10-2 would be, it would feel as if it's a failure, but that still might get you into the playoff next year, especially with the expanded playoff. It's going to feel different every loss, even if it's just 2 losses, just because you're not going to have that overwhelming sense of, oh, it's fine, Nick Saban will get it right. It's still Alabama, especially in this first year of DeBoer, just figuring things out and how, like you said, the politics between Washington and Alabama and how things are different.
You start seeing more and more NFL sprinkles in the playoff conversation now, with it going to 12 teams. Not the exact same bracket setup or anything by any means, but my guess is probably 2 out of every 5 years we see an undefeated champion in college. But with the way that conferences are expanding, my guess is we will get more of the NFL sort of feel where you don't see nearly as many teams run the table. So Alabama is Alabama. It wants to not just be in the picture for national championships, but win national championships. If Kalin DeBoer doesn't win a national championship at Alabama, I'm not surprised, but it's also, I think, somewhat disappointing because there's no reason for Alabama to take that big of a step back necessarily. Again, I think he's a really good coach. Have to see how he does in the recruiting and political realm behind the scenes. But I don't know if Alabama is one of those schools that will change how it measures success. I still think for Alabama, it's going to be about championships, not just playoff appearances. So 10-2 getting in the playoff, like, they'll be, yeah, fine, whatever. Like, I think a lot of Alabama fans still assume being in the playoff is their birthright to some degree.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they always appreciate it to the same degree because they're so used to being there and they had such a good run. Maybe they handle it better than, if they get to, 10-2 consistently. Maybe they handle it better than Nebraska handled Bo at 9-3 or something like that.
How many years in a row can he make the playoff without winning a national title before fans are tired of him?
Well, it depends how far he makes it, right? If Alabama is,
well, even then, like you said, they're going to feel like it's their birthright in the playoff. If he makes the national championship, once in his first 4 years and loses, Are they pissed in year 5? Are they saying it's make or break? He's on a hot seat?
Depending on where they fall in the bracket, right? Because I think Alabama will have enough residual talent that remains on the roster to be anywhere from that 3 to 8 range. If they get 3 or 4, they get the bye in the new playoff. 5, 6, 7, 8 most likely host a home game, right? So if you're Alabama and it's your birthright, whatever, to be in the playoff, if you host a playoff game and lose it, that's a problem.
That would
right.
be
I think fans are okay with, going to another Alabama game, paying for more tickets to see another home game, and you win a game with stakes. Obviously, I think they would want the bye too. So as long as you are in that top 8 and giving yourself, the best chance to win a championship possible, that's going to be enough for a lot of schools. But there's going to end up being a school, Rico, in the college football playoff era. Maybe Penn State keeps that moniker, but that is the Penn State of the new 12-team era, right? That's always good enough to be in the conversation,
but never good enough to win it.
Yeah, that's in the playoff, more often than not now that it's a 12-teamer.
Yeah.
But never actually makes a serious run at a title.
Is that like Oregon in the early 2010s? Mid 2010s, where they were always they made it twice, but they were always that team. It's kind of like, and I guess this might just be my take on it, kind of like how Utah was for a couple of years, where they were never making it because they were always doing so well, and then one loss would knock them out of all the conversations.
Right. I kind of compare it to almost like Milwaukee Brewers-esque.
Okay.
Where they're going to be a consistent perennial playoff contender, but how seriously do you take them right in the playoffs? Like, you always think that
the
they
Minnesota
should be
Twins,
sure, something like that. Yeah. Also, congrats on Stroman, I guess, by the way.
Yeah, whatever.
You signed him away from Nick.
Hey, he's Puerto Rican. I'm happy. He's back home, baby. He's in New York.
So yeah, I mean, it's Alabama. There's no reason they should, fall out of playoff contention. I still think most often they host a playoff game. Once every few years, they'll get the bye, but it's basically semifinals or bust, I would guess.
Yeah. Another question that I have that I don't know if anybody's going to answer.
No. If he doesn't win a title within 3 or 4 years, he is not out. Absolutely not. No. That would be ludicrous.
It's 5.
Even at Bama.
It's 5 years. He doesn't win a title in 5 years.
That.
He's out. Will Rogers just transferred there. Transferred to Washington. Can Jalen Milroe run the type of offense that Kalin DeBoer wants to run? There's so many, all of these questions. He's going to have a better defense than what he had in Washington. You believe? I mean, he's going to have better talent. Like he has. Alabama's top wide receiver just entered the portal.
Bond.
Yeah, Isaiah Bond just entered the portal. Did he know? I think I would think as you see what Rome Odunze did, you're just like, I want to be in this offense. Why is he entering the portal? I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk maybe a little bit more Kalin DeBoer, but I want to get into a little bit of Stephon Thompson, the new linebacker that committed to Nebraska yesterday, the transfer out of Syracuse, and some comparisons between Hoibergs Iowa State teams and this Nebraska basketball team. We'll see if we can get that, or maybe we'll just keep talking Kalin DeBoer. Join in with us on the conversation. 402-464-5685 Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line, and on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. We'll be right back. This is the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky,
Carlito. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now. Ticketmaster.
Ever feel judged at the gym?
You don't know how to use the leg curl machine? Are you serious? Is this your first day alive? No, it's okay. I love helping people during their first day on Earth.
At Planet Fitness, get energy without the judgment and join the judgment-free zone. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Get energized today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends today. See Home Club for details.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: snow and blowing snow likely today, especially in the morning. Otherwise, it'll be cold and windy, a high of just 8. Tonight, cold and wind continue, more blowing snow as well. See a low of 5 below. And tomorrow, more cold, wind, blowing snow, a high of just -1. Stay warm and safe out there. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with approved credit. Stock number G207684.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Happy hour here on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We are joined by the one and only Jake Bakovic.
That's right.
To give his takes on Kalin DeBoer, the former Washington head coach, working out a deal to become the new Alabama Crimson Tide head coach, taking over for the legendary Nick Saban. Bach, immediate thoughts on Kalin DeBoer going to Bama?
Well, he's obviously a rising star in this industry. 25-3, 2 years at Washington. And just, so he's been off to an incredible start. Had a short get-go at Fresno State. Obviously, with Michael Penix planning with Will Rogers coming in, likes to throw the ball around the yard. So it's a bit of a different look. I mean, Alabama's done that here and there. Jalen Milroe, that's probably not his cup of tea specifically as you look at the roster inherits. But you just wonder, is it a good fit for the SEC? It's a little bit, I wouldn't say, it has some questions to it. I figured for the longest time, I should say, that when Saban retired, that they would get somebody off the Saban coaching tree, because that is part of Saban's legacy, is that he has a huge coaching tree. Kalin DeBoer not among them. So it's a little bit strange. I think usually when you see a legend move on out of school, it will be somebody within that coaching staff or somebody with ties to that coaching staff to try to keep whatever magic is in that room, staying in the room. Nick Saban, of course, is going to basically stay there, hang out on campus, and do whatever he can to help Alabama. So I guess, maybe you don't worry about it that way. Just fascinating. I mean, it looks, the crazy part of this is it doesn't look like Kalin DeBoer was Alabama's first choice. He's be a home run hire just about anywhere. But here you just kind of think about, how's the fit? I mean, it's still going to be like the hire of the offseason. Still, you figure get an A+ and all that from all the people prognosticating it. But it's just interesting to see if it's a fit.
Yeah, me and Austin were talking about in the break that it's a good hire for any school to get Kalin DeBoer away from Washington, to get Kalin DeBoer in general, because he's won wherever he's gone. He only has 12 losses as a head coach, regardless of division, regardless of level. And it just doesn't feel immediately, at least to us, like the hire that Alabama could have made or maybe wanted to make. Like you said, it seems as if he was maybe a later choice down a ways on the list of whoever is making, or whoever had a list of head coaches to hire for Alabama. But again, 100 and something and 12 as a college football head coach, that's nothing to laugh at, nothing to sneeze at. But again, it just doesn't give me the same oomph as another coach would have. And Jake was kind of arguing with me a little bit, like, do you think that Steve Sarkisian is a bigger name than Kalin DeBoer? Do you think do you think that Dan Lanning was a big like? Yes. It's a weird feeling, but that's just how I feel.
Not saying they're better coaches, but bigger names, absolutely. Like, I think it's hard to argue that they're not bigger, well-known, more prominent names.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Steve, obviously Sark coached at Alabama again, so that's where you would have figured there would have been some sort of connection there. DeBoer is just off to making his name, so that's what's kind of weird. And what it also is kind of strange. I mean, he's not overly young; he's 49 years old. That's pretty young in the coaching profession. I wonder if there's when people are looking at this, I kind of felt the same thing with Dan Lanning, which is like good resume but short resume. Same thing with Kalin DeBoer. Is that, are you looking for the right hire for 25 years or 17 years or whatever you're looking for the next Saban?
Yeah.
Or are you looking for somebody to keep this rolling, keep it moving? And there's different ways to approach it. again, I mean, I think you're lining up one of the hottest, best coaches in college football. Took a Washington team that he inherited at 4-8, and 2 years later had in the championship game, and you're giving it to the team that has run college football for years, has all the 5-star. I mean, so there's a very high percentage chance of this thing working, but working is for any other school, and working for Alabama following Saban is going to be a different thing. Kalin DeBoer can go in there and go 10-2, 11-2, and 10-3, and they'll be on the hot seat, right? I mean, so you can have some good seasons, you can have some good success. I'm not necessarily. It's very intriguing. I'm not going to bet against it necessarily. But again, I wonder about the fit a little bit. I mean, you got there's just so many moving parts. Texas and Oklahoma coming in, and then the other thing is to look at it from the Washington side, which it looked like to me the Big Ten was going to avoid. Dan Lanning getting taken. Okay, Oregon's going to be at full strength. Well, Washington already losing a lot off that team. If you saw the early odds for next season, they're like 50-1 odds. They're probably going to be back, top number 20 or something coming in. And who knows where they go next, because they've kind of had a revolving door of coaches there as of late. And, so Washington doesn't seem nearly, without DeBoer, even with a Will Rogers, right? But without Michael Penix and DeBoer,
if Rogers stays,
doesn't seem like the same threat coming into the Big Ten as it did, I suppose, just half an hour ago.
Yeah. Washington in the last 5 days has lost the title game, its head coach, starting quarterback, starting running back, 3 starting receivers, and a starting offensive lineman. Washington will not be the same.
And that's not the transfer portal, right? That's just those are guys that are
NFL
draft, and then the head coach taking a better job,
right? Which is a more important hire for DeBoer at Alabama? Is it the OC probably bringing Ryan Grubb with him unless he takes the Washington job, or is it the DC?
I would say the DC. Kalin DeBoer started his career as, I believe, a wide receivers coach. So you would think, and he's more thought of as more of an offensive mind. So I would think that if push comes to shove, he'll be able to handle the offensive workload for whoever he ends up hiring as an OC. But that defensive side is something that people were worried about, especially with the performances that Washington had. Yes, they had a good enough defense to get them to the national championship game, but even then, still a little suspect. So if you can have somebody, especially with all of the talent and the defensive pieces at your disposal for the Crimson Tide, making the right defensive coordinator hire is going to be critical for Kalin DeBoer. Because especially in the SEC, where yes, it's just the best conference in football, but you think about the SEC, they've got high level offenses, but the defenses is where a lot of those teams make their hay.
All right, and we saw like the Big Ten style of game, right, against Michigan, that really slowed Washington down, and the SEC is going to be that same way for so many teams. Listen, Alabama's going to be scary if they can get a high-flying offense in there. You would have to assume they would be right up there for, one of the top offenses. And again, that's where DeBoer's history lies at Fresno State. He's the Indiana offensive coordinator before that. I mean, he's been slinging the ball around, so that's what Alabama likely is going to go to. It's just a different side, and so. With all that considered, it just seems like it's rocking the ship a lot more than I thought that the Alabama would necessarily want to do. Now, it's interesting because their fans don't want anything to do with Dabo Swinney. Yeah, right.
Anyone but Dabo.
It's hard to really make anybody feel like they had their first choice here, because the other thing is there's just 3 or 4 coaches releasing I'm returning videos, which makes you believe, okay, well, they and a few of Mike Norvell getting a nice contract extension with it. Is that maybe they were choices before Kalin DeBoer. You knew Alabama wasn't going to get a bad hire, but how good of a hire? I don't know if this is, again, it's such an intriguing fit. And I don't know if it's the right fit.
Again, we're talking about the offense first off, again, we're talking about Kalin DeBoer, Washington head coach, structuring a contract to be the next Alabama head coach as Nick Saban retires yesterday. Was it yesterday? Wednesday. And Kalin DeBoer now going to step in and be the new head coach for the Crimson Tide. We were just talking about the offense. Jalen Milroe doesn't seem like the kind of quarterback that Kalin DeBoer is prone to working with.
Which is why OC is so important. Do they work with what they have in Jalen Milroe and mold a system around him, or do they want someone like they had at Washington.
Well, get Will Rogers. Yes, he just
Because Rogers went back in the SEC.
I was saying, well, the thing is, he just transferred there, but now your head coach leaves. You have 30 days again.
Did he transfer for Kalin DeBoer? Or did he transfer for Washington? That'd be my question.
Where's he from?
Will,
because you would think that Will Rogers, his arm talent, his ability
to Will Rogers quarterback. For those of you out there,
yeah, his ability to sling the ball, all of that. His
he's
inability
from Louisville,
to
Mississippi.
Oh yeah, he's going. He's going back. He's going to enter the portal. He's going to Alabama.
Guess what high school he went to?
Okay, I don't know.
Brandon High.
Brandon High.
Brandon.
That's it. Okay. Brandon.
Where'd
you go? I went to Brandon.
Well, that's the other interesting thing, though, about DeBoer is his origins are in the Midwest, and now he's making his hay in the Pacific Northwest and now the South. Usually, Midwest coaches, they kind of start to get, you categorize them as that, and then they have to kind of make their way up through the Midwest and to wherever may lead. DeBoer, I thought, for the longest time, everybody kind of thought he's going to be on track for a job in the Big 10, Big 12, somewhere in the Midwest. And so far, he's avoided it. Now, after a national championship appearance, is that the place to be in college football? That's my question to you guys. Do you think this is because Alabama is so interesting? It's had the two greatest coaches of all time. Unbiased opinion. Obviously, Tom Osborne's the greatest, if you ask anybody here in Nebraska. But as far as championships go, Bear Bryant and Nick Saban certainly have a pretty good argument there. Is there something in the water at Alabama? Would you consider it the best job in college football, or is it just they've had the two greatest coaches?
He has takes.
Alabama, for being a blue blood, is not as consistent as even like Ohio State is. Like Bama has had some downturns. I think the one time Ohio State hasn't won 9 or 10 games since 2000 was maybe like early on under Tressel, and then the 1 year Fickle. Right. Oklahoma has had a bit of a downturn under Venables, but that's a program that outside of like the mid 90s hasn't really ever had a drop off. Bama has. And I just saw a tweet. I don't know how far back I have to scroll to find it. Hope I liked it. I would need to do more digging on this myself. Okay, so yeah, Matt Hinton on Twitter is the guy's name, national writer. Saban was the greatest recruiter of all time, so much so that it took like a decade for the rest of the country to get on his level. And not even the rest of the country, just Georgia, pretty much, maybe Ohio State as well. But he takes a lot of that with him. The idea that Bama necessarily sells itself no matter who happens to be the coach isn't true historically. Again, I would need to look into that, but that's a guy that I know studies college football, writes about the SEC. So yes, Bama's absolutely a great job. Talent rich, history, tradition, all the benefits and curses that come with that stature and that standing. It's obviously not a given that you can just plug anybody in at head coach and be successful to Bama. The job is not too big for you not to fail at.
Well, it's interesting too because these things are flowing. There's not just a list that's going to be the same in 2008 as it is in 2024. Of who, what's the best coaching job? There are jobs like USC and Florida and Texas that are always going to be just inherently great weather, athletes everywhere. You can recruit to them, history, all that sort of thing. And then those are basically there's a few jobs like that, and then there's many jobs that kind of depends on what's been going on at those locations.
We're joined by the boss man, Derek Pearson.
Oh my gosh.
You good, DP?
Oh,
you good?
Have you walked outside today?
Multiple times, yes.
Have you walked outside lately?
Not lately. I did this morning.
Here.
Yeah. Mad respect to those Olympic cross-country skiers
y'all wild.
Who just wild out on a regular basis on purpose. Like just to do this and go, hey, what a good day this is. What a good thing this is. Rico understands this about me. That if I'm interrupting, I usually have something.
Yeah, usually
something happened
Go ahead.
you have to share in that kind of space. But and then sometimes plans go awry because weather changes, that sort of thing. Normally on a game night, on a basketball Husker game night, these two will stay up late.
Yeah.
They'll stay up late and hang out and make sure Husker fans have something to clutch onto. And it goes unnoticed, except for it doesn't. It doesn't, because I've done that shift. I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. So there are a couple of things in play that Rico understands just about me. Little things mean a lot, and if I make a statement, it's because it's worthy. So for this particular person, I thought that it was necessary to do something for them.
Necessary.
And he told me he did not have one of these.
Oh, it's the Midnights.
He did not have, like, I saw him, he was wearing an Andrew Luck Colts jersey, and I'm like, bruh.
There it is.
I'm like, bruh, no, that
and it was the wrong texture too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, no, you can't. I can't let you live like that.
No.
Right.
Dang.
Right. So Austin is a stand-up guy, and whenever,
except for the fact that he likes the Colts.
Yeah, it's the Colts. You can't do anything about that.
And Duke
can't be. You know, it's the blue, right? It's the right thing.
I
Right?
wonder if maybe that was a Duke.
Right.
Something wrong with him.
Right, to go through it, but it is a small thing just to acknowledge the extra stuff you do for all of us here at Ticket. Whenever we need, we stand up. Austin stands up for us, and it's greatly appreciated. I can say the same thing about the guy next to him.
Oh, of course.
And Bach's a different kind of breed, and I also know that there's certain things that he likes, and there's certain things that he probably would appreciate more than mine.
Bach is a strange man, but we love him.
But we love him anyway. We love him anyway.
We love him so much so.
So I went this direction with Bach.
I
went that direction with Bach.
There you go.
I went that direction with
man. That is awesome.
that I thought Bach in his collection of collections,
Yes.
like that would be something that Bach would appreciate in full, right?
Absolutely.
So
That's cool.
the Colts jersey for Austin, the Celtics signed D Brown,
of course,
for Bach. You got to,
it's necessary.
Sometimes you got to do
Appreciate
things.
you, DP.
Listen, y'all do for everybody here. You do for the community. It's appreciated. That's all I wanted to say.
And we do it together, right? That's the big deal. You know?
That is the thing.
Bogdan's strict.
I thought you were coming in to talk about Kalin DeBoer.
No.
You're going to say that for 4 o'clock.
No. We got plenty for that. That's a Jay Foreman special.
Okay.
So, but anyway, thank you all three of you. Enrico, we have a lot of stuff coming, a lot of stuff to announce. So we got plenty of time to get it done. But thank you to you gentlemen for what you do and how you do it.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, DP.
And on that, we will go to a break. When we come back, we'll welcome Stricken. Maybe we'll get his takes a little bit on the Kalin DeBoer situation. You're listening to the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now. Ticketmaster.
Sartor Heyman. The outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at the outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Start 2024 off on a high note by loading up on meat and more at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Haviland. This week's special through January 16th is a Nebraska ground beef case sales. 12 one-pound packages of premium Nebraska ground beef for just $46.99 per case and $1.50 off all McClure's brand products. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G2076. 7684.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Even before you start. That was a preemptive
and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I already had someone created in my image. He's evil, he wants to take over the world, and he fits easily into most overhead storage bins.
on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Friday, everybody. We welcome in the one, the only, Eric Strickland. Who
is iceberg outside.
Who did not drive in from Omaha because that would have been dangerous. Luckily, the Ticket's got a little condo. Nice for Stricky to stay here and grace us with his presence.
I wouldn't have made it. You could.
I would not have. We would not have asked you to make it.
I don't even know how the parking guy is driving around. I just saw him driving around.
So they're out today, but they're not out yesterday.
Right. I'm gonna be honest though, if I work for them, they just have to be mad at me today. There would be no tickets given today. I'd be inside.
Said everybody's parking for free. I don't care.
Period.
That's exactly how that works.
You would be the first parking person with the soul.
Stricky, I'm not going to ask you for too much because I know y'all going to get into it. Kalin DeBoer negotiating a contract to go to Alabama. Immediate thoughts.
Okay. I mean, you've got to believe that they went down a hierarchy of
based on the things that were happening.
You know, like a fisherman, you know, put the bait on the hook, throw it out there, and you know, kind of drag it in and see if something bites. Fish looking at that, the big fish looking at it like, no, I don't want none of that.
Looks tasty, but nah.
Yeah. So he bit, and will it be the right move? I don't know. I think the decision to do it early is good.
Necessary.
I think, you know, with the moves and the things that they were, you have retention that you have to worry about. So yeah,
you already lost
especially
the best
when you
receiver.
And you got Shador Sanders tweeting out, you know, hey, Alabama players tap in. You know, it's already going on. So yeah, you want to definitely get ahead of it so you can get in there and have some conversations, some real conversations.
Like, it's necessary to get in there early and get everything set. Get your foot in the door with a lot of the players who are currently on the roster and try to keep as many as you can, because look, that roster's stacked. The roster's stacked. They didn't win the whole thing, but they got themselves into the playoff and still put up that Alabama fight. So if he can get in there and keep a grip of those players and maybe bring some in from Washington, maybe bring in an OC from Washington, things will look pretty nice down in Alabama.
I mean, he's got to figure, my last thing, he's got to figure, Austin, that the recruiting process is different. He literally, like, we've been hearing about all these portals, right? Portals popping up in Miami, portals popping up over here, transfer portal. Yeah. So he's got to figure that he lands in Alabama. He's literally in the midst of the feeder system.
Look, everybody wants to go there,
right?
Or at least wanted to go there. Maybe they still do. I don't know.
And maybe they like his style. Maybe they like what he did with Penix. Maybe they, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good things that can come with that. So we'll see.
I mean, so we had a texter on here, and you know, sometimes I don't like to give a lot of credence to the negative tweets, but somebody texted in and said, Kalin DeBoer has won everywhere he's gone. If you guys don't think it's a good fit, you don't know football. Well, I don't think that's true. Just because, look, I understand you win everywhere you go. Sometimes it's not a good fit. I'm not saying it's not a good fit. I'm just not sure if this hire is the hire that gets the fans in Tuscaloosa excited.
Yeah.
If this is the hire that Alabama wanted from the get-go.
Yeah.
Does
Shaka Smart? Shaka.
Yeah.
Just. My point is on just on that, and I got to get him in. Yeah. But my point to answer back to that, Shaka Smart is a great coach. Did his thing at VCU. Goes to Texas. Hey, still a great coach. Just didn't work out.
Not
the fit didn't work. Goes back up to Marquette.
Great.
Back in his fit. Back in his zone. So it's not necessarily that. That's what I wanted to point out.
Which is what you've said about like Dusty May at Florida Atlantic. We've said about Mark Few at Gonzaga, right? Who would have been an exciting hire for Alabama? Everyone's going to be a step down from Saban. Who do you think can?
Kirby's the only thing that you would think that could be
that would have been
lateral.
That would have been
right now. Right. I'm a little surprised that even Bama didn't have the cachet to get their first guy. You know, that speaks to, you know, what Oregon has done and built, what they offered Texas, what they've built what they believe about Sarkisian. Even Florida State, right? Under scandal with sanctions, right? Before Norvell. But he signs the extension to stay there. It's a testament to those places. This is still Alabama, and people turned him down. So who was going to be flashy and exciting, like outside of Kirby? Really no one. So that's where I think
every time
Alabama
every
got,
time.
A really good coach, but winning fits everywhere. But the elements that go into winning, as similar as they are, manifest themselves in different ways. How DeBoer manages that will define his tenure. And I want to ask you guys this. If you're Ryan Grubb right now, would you rather take over as Washington's head coach, or would you prefer to stay offensive coordinator and go down to Bama? A depleted Washington team. Now, Bama might be 2 after the portal window closes for them.
Potential mass exodus.
Would you rather be an FBS head coach going into a new conference with a lot of your talent leaving, or go try a new challenge in the SEC?
I think me personally, I might go to Bama, my boy. Like, especially as an OC.
Yeah, I get that, and I look. It'd be hard to turn that down, but at the same time, like you just mentioned, going into a new conference, you'd be the head coach at Washington, where this is going to sound weird. The expectations aren't sky high, even after what just happened.
Rico,
it'd be. Is that would that be his first head coaching job? That is, if they hire him.
He's had offers, apparently.
Yeah, you're going into a new conference. You're gonna potentially get some leeway because you're new to the conference. It's your first head coaching job. They're not expecting you, especially like you said, a depleted roster. They understand that as well. So maybe you get a longer runway there.
You have a better chance
at
some
Alabama,
retention. Yeah.
You go 2 years and your offense isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Bye-bye.
The people who have power are going to be looking at Kalin like, look, man, either we're putting you on the hot seat or you need to find a new OC. And that's going to be tough. I think I'd take that head coaching job because also you'll make more as a head coach than you are an OC, even if it's at Alabama.
Yeah, I think so.
Also,
I
you
agree.
could just stay in Washington, not move to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, Shirky, what is there in Tuscaloosa?
The university?
Tuscaloosa is very similar to Lincoln. It's very college town. It's very, that's it. And good folks, good people.
Wow, I didn't realize that's 100,000?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's really, like I'm saying, like even like Lincoln's bigger than that as far as by population wise, but it's very like Lincoln, just Haymarket type style stuff. You know what I mean?
Have they ever considered moving the capital to Tuscaloosa since, that's where everybody wants to be in Alabama?
Well,
anyways?
what is, I think it's Montgomery now.
I think so.
Yeah. No, they won't do it.
All right, gentlemen. What's coming up on the show?
Yeah, we'll keep talking a little bit about this Kalin DeBoer thing. Husker basketball at Iowa and Husker wrestling hosting Iowa. It's officially Beat Iowa Day.
Yeah.
During On the Block. So pour your energy into that while you're sitting at home. And then we'll dive heavy into the NFL in hour 2. Whole lot of storylines to get to, whole lot of interesting angles to break down. We'll go over a few teams that really stand out, the matchups that stand out. We'll do the storylines. We'll make our picks, all that jazz.
All right. That sounds fantastic. Keep it tuned here. Listen to On the Block with my 2 very good friends who are not in Mexico, not enjoying the sun while we have to deal
We're
here with
officially your better friends now.
Snow.
Did he have something going? Did he read something?
He knew. I dislike him.
Sucker.
Hey, so quick, if you want to see me jump into a snowbank, I'm at 1,939 followers on X. If you get me to 1,950, I'll jump in the snowbank. At Radio
Make it
Rico,
happen between 2 and 4.
At Radio Rico AC. Adios.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that Potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: snow and blowing snow likely today, especially in the morning. Otherwise, it'll be cold and windy, a high of just 8. Tonight, cold and wind continue, more blowing snow as well. See a low of 5 below. And tomorrow, more cold, wind, blowing snow, a high of just -1. Stay warm and safe out there. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the